Picture this. You just mixed up a custom color formula that you want to apply all over your hair, pasted it over, and when you rinsed it out, you are left with a messy, patchy, uneven color, and now you don't know what to do. What do you do now? Although we might get the sudden urge to grab black box dye and apply it all over our hair color to forget that this mishap ever happened, there are actually quite a few different options that we can try to fix and clean up our patchy hair result and actually end up with something healthy, even and better than when we started. 3 different color options that might be better than the black box dye and will save you from applying bleach all over in the future. So picture this. I colored my hair milk tea or mushroom brown a while back, and now a couple washes later, I am left with a seemingly patchy hair result. There's blues and greens all over, there's my own natural hair color peeping through, and then every once in a while we get hints of beiges, silvers, and blonde. Now, whilst even my gut instinct is to immediately grab a much darker hair color and apply it all over to kind of forget that this ever happened, I know that I'm going to regret that decision later on, and that it's better to just grab some cleaning supplies and clean up this mess right here, right now. There are 3 different solutions that I can put onto my hair today to fix up this patchiness. Before I get in this video, I did want to shout out the sponsor of this video, Arctic Fox Hair Color. If you're brand new to this channel and you've never heard of them before, Arctic Fox is a really incredible semi-permanent hair color line based in the US, creating some of the best hair colors and hair dyeing products on the market and catering for artists and professionals alike. Ranging from rich semi-permanent colors to pastel shades to interesting combinations and finishes, along with DIY bleach hair kits, shampoos and conditioners, and all the hair products you need. By far, my favorite products for many years now have been their incredible semi-permanent hair color range. I myself have every single one of their hair colors, including their brand new EU packaged hair color design. Not only delivering good ingredients, formula, and all-over experience, they also really leveled up their packaging experience for the at-home consumer, offering visual guides on how the hair color is going to turn out, as well as instructions on the back. I have been using this brand for so many years, and my true followers know that I absolutely rave about this brand, and today I am going to be using their dyes to create something epic on my own hair. And if you want to see just what you can do with these products in particular, keep watching the video to see how I'm about to fix my own personal hair disaster. So what are the options for fixing this hair color mess? The first thing we need to do is actually understand what this pigment is. A lot of the times when pigment sticks to the hair in a patchy result, it is not actually the dye that is at fault, it is the hair has different porosities underneath, or else different starting bases. When I lift up my hair underneath, we can see that because the blonde is much darker than the blonde on the top, the dye didn't really stick over here. In fact, most of my hair underneath is a very normal, natural beigey blonde color. But because this part of my hair has been bleached time and time again, and because I've applied a number of different colors over the weeks that have passed, the hair sticks to it and compounds over a time. This is crucial to figure out exactly what we can do to fix that. The first thing we can do is just a basic all-over bleaching service. While bleach often gets a bad rep and is probably something that we are fearful of or we might be avoidant of, bleach is really good at its job, which is to go in and lift pigment, whether it is natural or artificial or maybe a mix of 2. Fundamentally, it's also a really simple process. You just get the ammonia-based bleach, the hydrogen peroxide-based developer, merge them together and apply them on your hair. This is a really good alternative for stylists who just want a clean base, or even a home user who just wants to get as blonde as possible. A few downsides to using bleach is that you need to understand which developer mix you're going to use. Bleach is very often equated to the heat temperatures of your oven. If you use a developer setting too high, it is the equivalent of turning the oven too hot. You leave it on for long enough, you end up burning your hair. You're giving it a chemical cut. Not fun. Bleach is also a fundamentally damaging process. It is reductive, meaning it doesn't leave anything behind, it kind of leaves the hair completely hollow. If we take my hair in particular, this is already bleached hair from a previous coloring service not that long ago. One bleaching service on the hair, not that bad. Multiple bleaching services is 100% going to leave your hair very fried at best. The second thing that I can do is I can apply a color remover. Color removers are gentler or even sometimes completely bleach-free options or alternatives that goes into the hair follicle and extracts nothing but artificial pigment. This is very good if you want to just remove a bit of the dustiness or dirtiness, and is also a really good option if, let's say, you have blonde hair but you've been layering purple shampoo in it for quite a while and you need to re-brighten it. It goes in, takes out the unnecessary pigment, but then leaves your hair exactly as it was. Some color removers do actually contain minuscule amounts of bleach, which means if you were to apply it all over, you will still cause lift even on your own natural hair color. And color removers that don't contain this sometimes simply aren't powerful enough, leaving you to wonder which color remover is actually going to give me a good lift, but without also damaging my hair even further. They also can be a tiny bit conflicting and confusing when it comes to mixing up the different parts and the different ratios and quantities that you need of each product. If you're unfamiliar, it can be a slightly tedious and unnerving process. Which leaves us with the final and third option: layer on more dye. The first thing that we think of if we see messy hair is that we need to clear out the mess. So instinctually, we might go for some things like bleaches or color removers because it is in our mindset to try to reduce as much as we can. But as I mentioned earlier, the more you remove from the hair, the more hollow the hair cuticle becomes, and even rougher, more brittle, and potentially even damaged beyond repair. There is also one other aspect that I didn't mention so far. What is my outcome here? Do I want to go back to my fully blonde base? Or do I just want to even out my hair color and get something cute and pretty? The one thing I don't like doing, however, is damaging my hair. And semi-permanent colors typically do the two things at once beautifully. They layer pigment into the hair beautifully, evenly, and in a gorgeously pigmented manner. They're also conditioner-based, meaning they're actively helping the hair repair. Arctic Fox's hair dyes in particular are so incredibly nourishing that just leaving dye on your hair will not only change the color in the most beautiful and revolutionary way, but it'll also help the hair physically heal in structure. If bleach is the equivalent of baking or potentially burning a cheesecake in the oven, semi-permanent hair colors are more like a fruit smoothie. Delicious, but healthy, and also easier to prep than a cake. That is what I'm going to be going for today. I'm not color removing, I'm not bleaching, I am simply going to just fix my patchy hair color with a different set of hair colors applied on top. My favorite part. Obviously! I often joke that my hair channel is a mix of hair meets science. We're breaking down everything that happens, but we're not going for boring options. Baby, we are getting our hands absolutely dirty. That smells so good. As much as I'm shitting on my current hair color, I am actually still a fan of my natural hair color mixing with this sort of gentle periwinkle that is happening. Not exactly sure how I ended up here. Again, hair colors fading is probably one of the wildest concepts to me, but that is why I keep kind of making it a point throughout my channel. Work with what you have, don't work against it. As you can see, currently my hair is a mix of my own natural dark blonde at the top, mixed with the sort of gray, blue, purple periwinkle that is happening at the bottom. Obviously, it is extremely patchy, especially when I look at my hair color underneath, but there is something that I am enjoying about how it is looking. I also like to match things with other parts of my body, and in this case, this kind of looks like my eyeball, right? Yeah. So these are the colors that I'm intending on using today. Arctic Fox's Purple Madness, Poseidon, Purple AF, and in their brand new packaging, Aurora Kiss. Now, I'm gonna be very freaking honest, especially these mixed together, this isn't giving me good vibe. I hate purple to this day. I even launched a purple wig line, right? Still don't like the color mix, and especially when it's like done like this. The only way that I actually really like purple is if it is extremely cold. It's a very like ice cold, like you took the color purple and you put it in the Arctic. That's kind of a color that I really like. So that's kind of what I want to like create, and that we're already kind of there, right? You can see it. The final dye color that I do actually have that I mentioned earlier in the video is their Arctic Mix Silver Toner, Diluter. Arctic Toner. This is their silver hair color, but it also could be just used as a diluter. It literally is, this doesn't leave that much pigment. It will leave your hair a tiny bit silver, but on my hair, it'll probably not give me anything more than this. However, it's going to be a really good diluting base, kind of like how I used the conditioner in my last video. This is what we're going to be doing with this dye. Get it? So it just leaves the hair a tiny bit whiter. In our case, though, we're just gonna get it dirty with it. Okay. Now, last video, I made the idiotic mistake of just mixing up way too little dye. Spoiler, if you have hair longer than your like ear, you're gonna need so much dye. You're gonna need way more than you think you do. Arctic Fox, please send me more. But okay, look, I just used up an entire toner. Is it still going to be cheaper than a hair transformation at a salon? Yes. Buy the damn dye. Purple Madness is going to get me closer to what I'm looking for. Hello, where are you? Still here. How do I feel about milk tea? I don't think you guys loved it as much as I would have thought you'd love it. Look at my book. Should I auction this off? Look at how many pretty colors there are. Oh my god. Okay, so far, this is what Arctic toner looks like. Right? We're already pretty cold, but still pretty light. Purple Madness, tiny amount. And then once again, I was kind of doubting whether to put in Aurora Kiss or Poseidon. I think just Poseidon because again, I just kind of want to ice it out. I want icy. A combination of blue, basically. Let's see where we are so far. Did I mention this smells so nice? It smells like a particular candy. I just can't remember which it is. Very cute, but since it's too cold, purpley if, because Purple Madness is too cold to properly give us what we're looking. Oh my god, that is dark. Heh, boy, that is too dark. Okay, what? There we go. Hello, hello. So that's like a purpler blue, kind of. Yeah, so we can see we kind of just created like a more purple shade of this one right here, and I'm thinking of just applying it kind of to here. Yeah. I did have a slightly wild idea as I was mixing this up. What if we take half the dye that we've just mixed up and add into it more blue, Poseidon specifically. Mix it up and then apply this particular shade only on the lower half of my hair. I think it's got potential. I think it could look good. Darker. We need darker. Darker, sir. Hello? Maybe even adding in a tiny bit. Oh my god. A tiny bit of Aurora Kiss. This is emerald green. Just FY. Oh my god. That is light. Actually, is this what we want? I don't... That is a hot color though. Holy sh... Arctic Fox, well done. You know how to make dyes and they're beautiful. Yeah, so this on the top of my hair and then this on the bottom. Just because, you know, I say let's do it. But that's just my opinion. Okay, here's the before. I think it looks ugly, just so we're clear. But I think we're gonna make it better. All right, let's get our hands dirty. I love lighter hair colors on me, but there's something with the darks that I immediately see just giving life. I know this is a color fix and a color correction, but the excitement that I have for this particular color, because it is vivid, it is vibrant, but it is also slightly muted. It's already not going to be that incredibly punchy color that I traditionally associate with, but because we're keeping the roots and because it's kind of still toned down and built on a base of dark blonde, the color is going to be more muted. It's going to be a tiny bit more lived in. Very much the color of my eyes, contact lenses. Still, I'm not going to leave this on actually for long at all because I do just want the slightest hint of color. I don't necessarily want this intensity. So I'm literally just going to leave it on for 10 more minutes and then rinse it out. No shampoo, no conditioner, because this is doing a conditioning mask as we speak. I'm just going to clip it out to my face and then also clean up my face because obviously I can color correct my hair however much I please. I still haven't learned how to not stain everything within a 10-meter radius. Leave this on for 10 minutes, wash it off, See what we're left with. Dewy. Not yet, but it looks so cute. Haven't styled it yet. I just kind of let it air dry completely, and it is a really good way to kind of figure out how the color actually landed on the hair, because it can look so different wet to dry. We can see we still kept very much the theme of the beginning of this video, including the messy hair and all, but the color just looks a lot more even now. It looks like it's intentional, and it removes that patchiness that we first had. Of course, this video wouldn't be complete without a little hairstyling, so let's proceed with that. Go out, flick. Ooh. Periwinkle. You got this. Is one of the best ways to effectively clear up patchiness on hair that is already compromised and you do not want to use color removers or bleach or any other harsh agents. Not only is the hair color so much more even now, and there is even a bit of dimension and diversity within the color shift itself, especially when it comes to mixing it with my natural root color and then the lavenders on tops and then the colder blues on the bottom. But my hair is also incredibly healthy, it is shiny, it is still in good condition, and it didn't take that long. Like, this was singularly a one-step application. But this took all of a day, less, and we're left with hair better than ever. It will confidently be this one. It doesn't fit my personality whatsoever. I do not have a singular dominant bone in my body. In fact, I am far from the CEO type front, but I'm very much a believer of fake it till you make it. One day I want to be a CEO to the gods, and so this is it. This is how we're getting into it. Not only by that, but also we are mixing relatively vibrant hair colors, but making them appear not at all outrageous. Like, this genuinely feels like something wearable. Not only that, but it complements my skin tone really, really well. I know. The shirt is a tiny bit indecent though. I keep having to hold it because otherwise it is giving favors for the president type vibes. We're gonna try to avoid this, but healthy hair, color fixed hair. Thank you. Oh my god. I'm gonna be linking all of the hair colors that I used down the description box below. The Arctic Mist Diluter has probably become one of my favorite products ever because it is such a good substitute for a conditioning base, but it does still give tone. As you saw, it still had quite a bit of a silver agent effect, but because I wanted a tiny bit more lavender, I also mixed in a tiny bit of Purple Madness, Purple AF, as well as some Poseidon and Aurora Kiss. All of the dyes are available on their website at the moment, and with the code Stella15 you're able to get 15% off of your orders. I promise you it's not that hard. You genuinely do just have to bite the bullet and trust the process. Ooh. Hello, it is me, the indecent CEO. That's what I'm giving at the moment. Look at my little diamond necklace. This was a set with this ring right here, and I think it is giving I drive a Range Rover. I wish I Range Rover, please give me a Range Rover. Comment your thoughts thoughts down below. And if you want to see more of these videos and other quick fixes at home with genius level science behind it, you're welcome. Subscribe to this channel. We are so close to 1 million. Tell your friends, tell your families, and comment below what else you guys want to see. I am off now. I need to run a business, clearly. I mean, I need to work on my CEO outfit, but this is my hair, guys. Look, I love it. Thank you. Sometimes I really love my job. Ooh, here's a fun one. Okay, where do we place it? Right here. I love doing that.